Hey, let me tell you what the biggest problem people have during a sales call is this. They don't shut up. They don't shut up. So today we're going to go over the 3 best questions for you to ask on every single sales call. Hey, I'm Mary Bicknell. I work with solopreneurs and service providers who are ready to make a ton of money doing their best work with their best clients and busting through their income ceiling, frankly, all while they're working less, right? You can work less and still make a lot of money. By the end of this video, you're going to learn how to feel so confident asking these 3 questions. Look, you're going to be able to decide based on what this potential client says when you ask these 3 questions. You're going to be able to decide for yourself also whether they're a good fit for you. Because the bottom line is, when you're a service provider, you're in a relationship with your client and you want to be able to be excited again, right, about going and working with them. So make sure you stay till the end. I want to give you one of the biggest mistakes that you can avoid that could potentially cost you thousands, millions, lots of money. So here it is. What are the 3 top questions to ask? Let me tell you what they are first, and then I'll explain some of the psychology behind them, okay? Number 1, start off the conversation. Well, first, I'm going to just side note. You want to start off the conversation telling the person what's going to happen. Hey, Sally Jane, really looking forward to our conversation today. Let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. You can ask me anything you want, and then we'll decide if we're a good fit together. Okay. So first, here's your bonus tip. You want to make sure that you're leading the call. Why is that? Well, the very first question that you want to ask is, tell me, what is your big, bold dream? Now, big, bold dream is my brand language, right? Bold. Now, you might say, what is it that you really desire? What is it that you hope to accomplish? What is it that you really want if you could learn to lose 20 pounds? What would you really want? What's your big dream? So I ask my potential clients, so tell me a little bit about what's your big dream when it comes to your life and your business. Number 2, ask this question. What's the biggest problem you think is in the way of having your big, bold dream? What do you think is the biggest problem in the way of you having your big, bold dream, or your big losing 20 pounds, or whatever your niche is? Number 3, tell me why you think I would be a fit for you. Look, there is a lot of other questions to ask on a sales call, a lot of other questions that you want to ask. And I have the complete art of the ask, closing the deal training that I give to my clients so that you can master a flow and use a template to walk you through until you get like your language down, right? You might not say your big, bold dream, but you need to have your own language. So if you would like a copy or some other tips, comment below, or let me know, do you already have a process? Do you have a 5-step process? Mine's a 5-step process that we walk our potential clients through. So let's break down some of the psychology around this, right? And hey, make sure too that you are subscribing, you are commenting, you are leaving a review, you're leaving a comment, you're thumbs upping, you're liking this. I want to give you more. I want to help you have your own big, bold life in biz. All right, now let's break down some of the psychology with these questions, right? Most people remember this, right? If they are getting on a call with you, my friends, they're stuck. They're mired in the problem. And if you don't ask them the question, tell me what your big, bold dream is, they will just want to vomit to you where they are and what their stuckness is. Your job is to remind them, help remind them what their goal is, help remind them what their vision is, their dream is, so that they can feel that again. Because when they come to the call, right, they're upset, they're frustrated, they're stuck, they forget what they really want. And they need to be tied to what they really want so they can actually say yes to you. Number 2, what's the biggest problem that you think is in the way of you having your big dream? Look, you need to know what they think. They could be like, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why and you want to dig a little bit deeper because you want to ask yourself, do you want to work with somebody who has no clue on what the biggest problem is? Do you want to work with somebody who's blaming other people? Well, it's my husband. He makes me eat that ice cream. He makes me drink. You want somebody who has some insight, even if it's a little bit. Your job is to provide your method and solution, but you also want to hear from your client, your potential client, what do they think the problem is? What do they think? Look, you want to know what they've tried, right? You want to know a little bit too, what they've tried. So what do you think the problem is? Get a little insight into, are they serious? Are they tire kickers? Because if you ask, what's the biggest problem that's in the way? And then you can ask them something along the lines like, well, really, what have you tried? It's going to tell you whether they're complainers, whether they're serious, whether they're committed, whether maybe they've hit the wall and they've found you and they're like, yes, I'm all in. Okay. Now here's question number 3. And I've woven in a few other questions, but here's question number 3 to ask. Why do you think I'm a fit for you? I think this is one of the most impactful questions that you can ask. Here's the psychology behind it. I love this. Our goal when we're on a conversation is to help our potential client have clarity to a yes or no, right? We're not arm twisting. By the way, that arm twisting video is coming out next shortly. The podcast is coming out. Listen for it. But when we ask the question, why do you think I'm a good fit? It helps your potential client answer that for themselves. You're not telling them, let me tell you why I'm really good. And let me tell you why my solution is the best solution since sliced bread and everything. Let me tell you why we would work so good together. You want your potential client to say, you know why I think you'd be a really great fit, Mary? XYZ ABC. You're a no bullshitter. You've made $1 million. You've been online pre-COVID, like 9 years in your coaching business, entrepreneur forever. Or when you listen to what I said and you could reflect back what I like your energy, whatever the reason is. If she says, I don't know why you'd be a good fit for me, you have a problem, my friend. You have a sales problem. The problem is you haven't been articulate enough to let her know what the value of working together is. If she doesn't know why you're a good fit, maybe she's not even ready. Maybe the answer is no today. So you need to ask that question. Plus 2, do you really even want to work with somebody who's like, I don't know why you'd be a good fit for me, but let me give you money? No. Remember, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Not all money is good money, you guys. You want, if you're going to be in relationship with your client and you're working one-on-one with them and you're working at helping them overcome whatever it is, you want to know. Or even if you're selling your program, right? Maybe you're in a group program, you want to know, and you're selling this, whatever, this year-long thing, this 6-week thing, whatever it is. Why do you think this would be a good fit for you? You want that person to be all in. You want them to think it through. Okay. So much more on this. I could talk about this all day. Make sure, by the way, if you haven't already watched the video called Your Best Client and High Ticket Offers, check that out. That is a masterclass. It's one of the sessions that I did when I did a long training all on selling high tickets. Okay, let me tell you the biggest mistake to avoid. Ready? And let me give you a little other secret question. So number 1, the biggest mistake to avoid is not asking enough questions. I gave you a couple questions, but you really want to be inquisitive. You want to inquire. You want to ask more than you talk, my friends. But here's one of my favorite questions of all time. Asking the question. So is there any reason why we couldn't get started right now? Is there any reason why we couldn't go ahead and get your first appointment on the books? Is there any is there any reason why? You want to ask that question. You want to ask that question because you want to know what the answer is. She might say, no, there's no reason we can't get started right now. Great. Let's pull out our calendars and let's schedule your VIP day. Great. Let me go ahead and get your credit card number. Da, 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 da. Or she might be like, yeah, the reason we can't start right now is, and then whatever the objection is. I want to help you overcome those objections too. Not from a place of arm twisting. Like I said, I have a video coming up called Arm Twisting 101, what every good salesperson needs to know. So we're not arm twisting people, secret inside look. But what we're doing is we are helping people have these breakthroughs. So you want to have some objections. There's no objections. An objection isn't always somebody trying to avoid saying yes. An objection is just, I want you to think about as being inquisitive. All right, we could go on and on about this. Enjoy the day. Make sure you comment below. What tidbit are you taking out of this? And I want to encourage you, the very next sales calls that you have, write these down and use these, then send me an email thanking me because I know that this is going to help you make a lot more money and a lot more sales. Until next time, Mary Bicknell. Bye now.